Hey,
I guess
Mom.
you don't agree with North Carolina's new laws, then, Woody.
No, I don't. Oh my gosh. It's such an embarrassment. So there's these laws. It's like H2B or HB2, one of those. HB2, House Bill 2. And what people know it as is like the bathroom law. So they made it so that people who are, I'm going to mix this up because I suck at like the new gender, whatever.
Transgendered.
It's transgender.
But like transgender or, gender bi or whatever.
No, you don't. You can.
It's
just
not
stop at
just transgender. I swear there's more to it than that.
It's like
There's,
LGBT.
it's no LGBT doesn't cover it either. But they're like cross dresses, whatever. Basically
That's what the T is.
people. It's no. I swear there's more than just. If it was just transgender, I'd know it. So
Okay, I don't know.
Would you?
I would. Anyway, they want people to be able to choose whatever bathroom they want to go to, right? The Republicans are like, no, you can't have men and women's bathrooms. That's not okay. The other people are like, look, these guys are at high risk for suicide. They identify as women, even though they're men, even though they were born a man, or vice versa. I have a heart. Let them go to whatever bathroom they want to, etc. But there's more to it. They also made it so that the state law, which says like, you can't issue, and like, the state law which says you got to go to the bathroom you were born on your birth certificate, and you can't have any laws that like protect LBGT rights. You can't have the city right supersede the state one. So previously, for example, Charlotte had a law that was really like protective of lesbian, gay, bi, and trans, right? They had some laws that protected people. Now that law is no good because the state law says ours supersedes everybody else.
I think you're missing
So
a key
wait,
component,
so-
Woody, in that. Because, like, the bathroom was part of it, but they
Mm-hmm.
also issued a rule in there that would allow businesses to use a religious bias as a reason not to give services to
I think there's a bunch of things bundled in there. The bathroom thing is the one that gets all the headlines, but there's businesses being like religiously biased. Cities can't have
let's say, for example,
things.
if Domino's manager was on duty and he's a Southern Free Will Baptist and he doesn't believe gays, abomination and all, he can choose not to get served
Well,
you
not
pizza.
at Domino's. He couldn't. If it
Yeah,
was,
that's not exactly
Joe's
true.
Pizza Shack, he could if he was Joe.
So,
He
so
owned
the issue there, because what's happened is, that there was that florist who was fined $150,000 because she didn't want to make an arrangement for a gay wedding. Now you got to
So
think about it.
fucking ridiculous.
It's not that she was unwilling to sell a product that she possessed. She was unwilling to create something with her hands, to go out and design a thing and basically
Yeah.
take part in something that she had a religious objection to. Now, I'm 100% for gay marriage across the board. I don't see what the big fucking deal is, and I
don't
can't
think she should have
understand.
to pay.
I don't think she should have paid. That seems very unfair. You shouldn't be able to force me to contract for you.
No.
Now, if
I
I'm the
think
waitress,
the reason she had to pay
eh,
though is they wanted to make an example of her. Like, for
Yeah, and
example,
that's-
no,
like
because it's not
that's
the
not
first
fair.
time it's happened.
when I was an assistant manager at Domino's back when I was a little kid, we had not a little kid, but like a young man.
6 or 7.
We had the right to deny service.
Pizza
for-
eating contest.
We had the right to deny service. We didn't have to give them a reason. But I think the fact that she gave them a reason that they were gay is the reason she got burnt so badly. Like she said,
Yeah.
I'm not baking you a cake.
I
know.
don't think that you should. Honestly, that's not fair to her. If it's her business, like it's murky
I'm
because
really-
you feel like everybody should be able to get service everywhere, but at the same time, you shouldn't be able to go to someone and go, "Hey, this event, you have to participate in it, and you're also going to pay 6 figures for it." So fuck you. Like at the end of the day, it is their business. And if that gay couple went in there and was like, "I want you to make us a cake," and they were like, "No, we don't like gays," they could go, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and post this on Facebook, and we'll see how much longer your fucking bakery's around. See you later." Like, that's the response. That's where capitalism is going to work. Most people don't want to go to bakeries where they hate gay people. Most people don't really give a fuck or are
There's some
disgusted
people
by it.
who
Think
love-
that gays should be treated the same.
There's some people who love bigoted bakeries too, though. It goes both ways. I'm
That's-
really
that's
torn on it,
true.
and I completely
I wanna
agree
hate
with
cake.
you. On one
It's
hand,
not fair to make them do something they otherwise wouldn't with their business.
exactly. I'm big on the freedom issue of only having to do what you should do, right? You shouldn't force me to work for something I don't want to. On the other hand, I really as I play this out in my head, I'm like, oh, I could have a restaurant with, say, no black people or no green people or no Jewish people. Like, yeah, we just don't serve Jews here. And that's so
Yeah.
obviously bad. But
I was gonna say like
or
like,
golf
what if you're a
clubs.
You tell
Mormon
them they
business
can't.
owner and you
It's
don't
their
like black
place.
people? Like Mormons think black people are the devil.
Well,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean,
they
they
do.
changed because they had to change.
So all of
But,
a
like,
sudden
well, yeah,
it's
so
like,
they
is
all
it,
changed and they had
is it worse to say, okay, business owner, you're forced to like be this guy's accountant or whatever, or is it worse to say, like you can't discriminate, right? Like that's not right. But do you also force like I don't know, I'm torn.
It's one of those things where it's like, when this is getting pushed, the response is always like, because the people like this florist will be like, well, I don't want to have to make gay people cakes. And then the response is like, well, if you don't want to make them a cake, you don't have to. Or if you don't want an abortion, don't get one. Or if you don't want gay marriage, don't get it. And then they come around and say like, well, I don't want to make you this gay cake. And they go, oh, really? Well, that thing we said before was a lie. You're going to make that cake, and you're going to pay me $600,000 for it, or whatever the fuck. Like that.
it's
$250,000 for the cake.
It's so
like,
bigoted and shitty
$250,000
of
for
them,
the cake.
but it's not fair to make them do it. Like,
I'd have
I
baked the
don't know.
cake before I had to pay a quarter
So
million
This
fine.
North Carolina thing though it's becoming a national story. PayPal
I need a dick
pulled
cake before I pay a
Mississippi
$250,000
went up to
fine.
Woody.
PayPal pulled out. A handful of musicians have pulled out. Jimmy Buffett didn't. But like boycotting North Carolina is the new trendy thing, and like I'm counting thousands of jobs. Another 2,000 jobs just didn't come this way for
Shit.
one company
Oh,
alone.
man.
That's a big
we're really
deal.
happy that you're taking that Ferguson heat away. Feeling good.
But Georgia's getting it too because
Nah,
Georgia and
we-
Mississippi.
He vetoed that thing. Hey, we vetoed
Well, they
our,
vetoed
our
it
bill.
because I remember I think Disney was about to pull out of Georgia.
Nah,
And so
that,
it was
he
like
was
The
never.
Walking Dead.
That thing was never up for consideration. They made a big deal out of that, but he was never going to sign that. That wasn't even a
What do you think
consideration
about
for any-
Mississippi's the judge making Mississippi take the rebel flag off their state flag?
I don't care.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
I don't fucking care anymore. I just don't fucking care anymore. Like I don't care what our flag is or a bird. I don't fucking care. Not even a little. Not even a little.
If they got rid of all the flags, it would take me a long time to notice.
I'm gonna tell you what
Alright.
Georgia needs to get rid of.
I'm not driving
All
by
the ugly ass
saluting.
people. Georgia got some ugly motherfuckers in that state.
You're thinking of Boston.
I'm thinking of Georgia. I was thinking specifically of Toccoa, Georgia.
Those Tacoans.
I wouldn't know.
There's some mountain folk there. I know where Toccoa is.
I
There's
remember
some
I was
mountain
walking
folk.
around with Jeremy in Toccoa's Walmart, and we walked around about an hour. Jeremy had a little racist spell that day, but
Just a little one.
He had a little one. A black man hit his buggy with his buggy, and it just popped out.
What popped out?
What do you
Some
say?
racist slurs.
Were there
Oh,
some
all right.
N-bombs involved?
Yeah, there were some N-bombs involved. But
Fair enough.
so me and Jeremy was walking around, and I'm like, Jeremy, I haven't seen one good-looking girl yet. He's like, what do you mean? And he's like, and we started looking around. We started looking for a hot chick. We couldn't find one in Walmart.
I think the problem
At
is
Walmart.
that you're at Walmart because I was at the Conway Walmart. I had a similar experience of ugly motherfuckers. So just
Look, I'm a
it's
bitch dumb
Walmart.
as shit.
It really does depend on what Walmart you're at, though, because it's like a joke of like, oh, fucking ugly people at Walmart, but everybody goes to Walmart. So if you go to a Walmart in a decent area, you're going to see some attractive people. If you go to
Smart.
Walmart in apparently Toccoa, nowhere, it's not going to
Georgia.
go well.
I'll tell you another thing I seen when I was in
Band of
Georgia.
Brothers.
Open carry is a lot more prolific in Georgia. Like more people do it.
I don't get open carry.
I
It
see a few
doesn't
people doing it.
There's a certain vibe about guys who open carry. Like I don't give a fuck what you think. And it makes me like, oh, well, it would be a waste of time to be offended by his gun. And that's the end of that.
It doesn't bother me that he's got a gun on his hip. I just noticed that it's there. It's like, oh, I never seen that in like Conway or like Myrtle Beach.
Chiz saw it. Chiz just had gotten to Georgia, and we were doing our rafting and ziplining trip, and we went to Walmart. And as soon as we're walking out of Walmart, there's a fucking cowboy walking in. He's got a gun belt on and a 6-shooter, and he was just like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, that's how it is around here. Everybody, lots of cowboys." But it's just like I'd never seen anything like that before. He's like a 6-shooter and a gun belt with bullets in it. You know what I mean? Like a bandolier of bullets around.
He
his
might have
head.
been competing
And it was-
that day.
No, it wasn't that kind. It was
like
like,
even if I was competing, I would have left it in the truck. I'd like threw it in the back seat or something.
no, this
Can't
was not
walk
a
around
cowboy
with an
shooter.
empty
This was a
bandolier.
cowboy. It wasn't empty. He was locked and loaded. He was ready to roll.
No, he was saying he'd have left the gun in the truck. Then
I
you'd
would have
be
took the
all
whole gun
cowboy
belt off,
outfitted.
Woody. I would just put the whole gun belt in the back seat.
He brought his into Walmart on purpose. I see a few people.
Walmart's the place you get into gunfights all the time.
Oh, it looks like